welcome to the review. Today we're going to talk about the lifedot 3i by Soundcore by Anker. Now you can find these for $59, sometimes on sale if you go online, but if you're looking to pick them up in person, so far the only store I found them has been Walmart. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into this review. So first things first, I want to tell you what comes inside the actual box. So far, you're getting the headset, the charging case, of course, with the headphones, small, medium, large tips. The medium tips are already on the headset when you first purchase it. You'll get small and large inside the box and this little plastic and USB-C. So for those that are just wondering, oh, and of course you do get the actual booklet that tells you how to use the headset, what the physical buttons are, because right here, I'll show you in a second. This headset actually has physical buttons rather than touch buttons. So you have the booklet, like we just said, the cord, headphones are underneath right here, which I already tore open and switched the earbud tips. And of course the headset is right here. Let me go ahead and just put this to the side and pack it away. All right, so from there, what we're also getting is a 9-hour battery life in the headset and a total of 36. So I believe if my math is correct, what is that? 27 hours in the headset itself. And I could be wrong. My math is a little bit off, but I think it's 27 hours in the headset itself, and 9 in the I'm all over the place. 9 in the headset, 27 in the case. There we go. So right here, you have that in-ear. Well, it is definitely an in-ear design. Now, what I will say that this does go pretty deep into the ear, but for me, it was very, very comfortable. I didn't have any issues. And this part right here, that sticks out, this big hard plastic part, you don't have to worry that doesn't go in your ear. It basically stops right here, similar to Galaxy Bud Pros, but without the ear infection, because the Pros had some serious issues at the time. You do have the customizable sound, different signature sounds that Anker normally has, but that's with the application itself, which we'll look at in a moment. You have hybrid active noise cancellation, and for those that are wondering what that is, it's basically just regular noise cancellation, but you know, they put a particular name on the back of the box to kind of be like, oh, amazing dynamic. Really, it's noise cancellation, and it does a very good job of isolating noises like vehicles and things around you. I can personally use these when I ride my bike or my scooter to work, and even when the L train is just going right over my head, because I ride down Market Street. So you guys are in Philadelphia, understand what I'm talking about. You can barely hear the train. Now, again, it does depend on the size of your ear canals and what rubber tips you're using, because if you don't hear it properly, that suction noise, that means that it's not working properly, or 9 times out of 10, you just don't have the earbuds properly put in your ear. It's not so much the earbud itself, but probably just you yourself and how you have it. So just make sure that you try the different rubber tips when you do use this headset. In addition to that, it does have fast charging. I believe like a 10-minute charge will give you 2 hours of battery life, which isn't bad at all. Unfortunately, there's no there's no wireless charging or anything like that, but for the price tag, it's not too bad. You're looking at a $59 headset, which honestly is sold at Walmart. Now, you can get these online, but so far I haven't seen any other stores that had them. And this right here is the physical button. So when it goes into your ear, you just press the top of it and press it in. That way you have the ability to press the button effortlessly rather than a touch control like on the top where that can just press into your ear canal and cause irritation. In addition to that, for you water people, IPX5, so water resistance right there, splash. So if it's raining outside, you're perfectly fine. If it's downpouring, you'll be perfectly fine. What I will say is make sure the case is protected though, because even though the headset is IPX5, doesn't mean the case is. No, what I noticed is that a lot of cases are not water resistant. It really depends on the brand and carrier, and that's something that you'll have to dive deeper into, because they're not going to let you know that right off the bat, more so that it's just a coating on the actual headset itself. But so far, these are pretty good headphones. And for those that are wondering what this button is on the bottom, oh, and of course it does use USB-C, forgot to mention that. If you see this on the bottom of your headset, right here, what this does is if you hold it while the case is open, it'll reset the headset and put it in pairing mode so that both of these can connect to each other. I did have an issue when I initially got them after like 3 days where one would connect or two would connect, but then it wouldn't play music out of both ears at the same time. So I had to manually reset them. Took a few seconds, very easy, repaired it, and then I was good to go. So with that being said, very good headset. I do like it. And I don't see why you guys wouldn't either. It does have that Anker signature sound with other features, but what we're going to do right here is just jump onto the next part so we can see how it looks when it's actually connected. So right here is going to be a very quick segment of the pairing process. Now I know that some people aren't used to this, where they buy a headset and they're not exactly sure how to pair it, but it does explain it to you in the actual settings of the soundcore paperwork right here, how to do that, but I'll just show it to you in real time. So like some soundcore headphones, you can just pop the case open and then it'll automatically sync. Others require you to actually take the earbuds out of it, like other brands. So we're going to go through that right now and show you how to actually sync it. So as you can see, it's blinking right now, which I believe it is in sync mode because it's not synced to any other headset right now. So let's say you decide to connect this to, I don't know, let's say, I'll tap it right here real fast. Let's say you decide to connect this to another phone and then you decide to delete it or you're giving it to somebody else. All you have to do is go to the settings, delete it from your Bluetooth, and automatically while it's in the case like this, you open it up, it'll automatically connect. So these can stay inside the case with no issue whatsoever. You just connect them really fast, flip the top open, they're connected, you're good to go. That's simple. Doesn't take much effort at all. It's the same with with Apple products. It's the same with PC. Just flip it open and you can connect it. Now, there isn't anything online that says this has multi-connect, so you might have to actually disconnect or turn off your Bluetooth on another device to use it with multiple devices. But I'm one of those people where, listen, I just want it with one device personally, and I have multiple Bluetooth for for other Bluetooth devices. So with that being said, that is how you sync it. Let's go ahead and look at that application and then the sound quality. All right, guys, so this right here is how it's going to sound. Let's say if you're doing some type of recording or more so of a phone call. Normally when you do screen recordings and things like that, it does show the actual quality. Now, what I will say is obviously using a phone call is going to be a little bit different, but for the most part, they're not bad. They're not bad at all. Right now, I have the active noise cancellation on, so if I'm talking a little bit loud, I do apologize, but it is what it is. So with that being said, I already registered for the Anchor app. You do that. The moment you register for a soundcore Anchor app on your phone through the Play Store or through, I'm not sure if Apple has their own, but I know the Androids have the Play Store. Whenever you connect to a device, it's going to let you know that it's connected. And if it has app support, it's going to let you know. Remember, not all products have app support. So we're going to go ahead and tap that. And here we are. We have noise cancellation. We have transparency mode. Then we have normal. For the video purposes, I'm going to put it on normal because now I can hear myself talking a little bit lower. So the noise cancellation was definitely working. Transparency mode isn't bad. Like it's like a soft hiss kind of. And if you hear cars and other locomotives go past or people talking, you can hear more of a conversation. It doesn't feel like you don't have earbuds out of your ears. So the transparency mode isn't super strong, but it is decent enough where you can still go by your daily commute and you'll be able to hear footsteps and people around you. I just put on noise cancellation and there's a air conditioner humming in the background. I can't hear it at all. It feels like everything just kind of just not died, but everything just got super, super quiet. So the noise cancellation does work very well in this particular headset. I would say it's comparable to the Beats Studio Buds if we're talking about just the quality of the noise cancellation. Though I will say the Beats is definitely better. I just said comparable for that suction noise, and as long as it fits comfortably, you shouldn't have an issue. But again, there are going to be other people that hear this and say, oh, it doesn't sound like that, or it doesn't feel that way. It really depends on how you perceive it. But for a $60 pair of headphones, basically, they work very, very well in that aspect. So right here we have the controls. So you do have the option, as you can see in the picture, that's the button that you'll use to change any of your controls. So you have the option to do it with volume up, volume down, based on the left or right ear. You have the double tap option to change the song, pause and play, and you can actually change it to different things that you want to, but I just leave it on the default. And then you have the option of holding it for 2 seconds, and that normally turns it to ambient noise, on and off. Transparency mode, not so much. You can highlight it, but I keep that off so I can switch between noise cancellation and normal. Because what happens is you don't necessarily want what is it called? What's that mode called? I just forgot what it's called that fast. Transparency mode by itself. That means you have to hold the button for 3 times just to circle between all 3, which most people, if they have 2 earbuds in, they're going to use noise cancellation automatically unless they manually turn it off. I do believe that a lot of people out there that don't necessarily like noise cancellation after trying it stop using earbuds, not because they're bad, but because of noise cancellation, when in reality, all the major brand headphones, for the most part, that have app support, they have the option to turn it off. So there's that. And then right here, we have the equalizer. So you have the default soundcore. Obviously, you could do custom. Right here, it shows you can change things up and down, left and right, all that fun stuff. I personally don't do that. When you use default, you'll tap this and it gives you with it 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So it looks like 20 different types of EQ settings. Normally I use bass up for a lot of my Anker headphones. Not all the time, but I just do it because I love bass. It's not necessary because these do have a lot of thump. So for you rockers out there, you rap artists, and not rap artists, but certain people that like certain genres of music, it will work very well. Now, granted, if you're looking for something more acoustic or podcasting that just does more verses, does more voices or jazz or other things, it's there. But what I would suggest is, even though they have pre-settings for all these things, you may not like their settings. So you do have to just fiddle and play with it to figure out what you like. But on a regular, it'll more likely just be on Soundcore Signature, which is one of the most popular ones in general, and you're good to go. All right, so what else do we have here in this little application? Also, let me see if I can find if this thing has app support. Right here, if you go to the settings, a little cogwheel to the top right, you have voice prompts, which you could turn on. You have firmware updates, which I don't believe this is, yep, it's already updated. So your headset will be at least updated probably a few times throughout the year. Now, I can't say how often it is. 9 times out of 10, the higher end brands are the ones that are going to actually, what's the word? The higher end brands are more so the ones that are going to get constant updates. But if you're getting a $50, $60 pair of headphones, you'll probably get a couple updates throughout the year. But like I said, it's a very easy application to use. You have the book that shows you what the buttons do, but the actual application is needed to change the functions of however you want the buttons to be. So with that being said, let's talk about some musical sound. Alrighty guys, so right here, we are going to do a little music test in real time so you guys can hear the signature sound. Now, I already took off the bass boost in the last video, so you don't have to hear that. Let me correct that and explain to you what I actually did. When I do Bluetooth, I connect it to this phone right here, the N20. But when I did the screen recording, it was connected to my Samsung device because that has all the applications on it. So now that it's switched over to this one, the default is that it's just going to be on the JBL Signature. I can't change the equalizer right now, and I'm just going to leave it on the equalizer that it comes with. So it'll be, you know, the sound that you hear initially will be coming right out of the box. Now, of course, you could change it and customize it the way that you want, which most phones allow you to do that. There's also music players out there like, what is it called? I keep forgetting the name of the music players, but there are music players out there that have their own EQ settings inside of it where you can change the bass, power amp. There we go. But personally, I use Samsung Music, but because this is a OnePlus device right now, which has nothing on it, right now we're just going to use File Manager, and we're going to show you we're going to listen to some music, and I want to explain it to you in real time. Let me go ahead and play something that has some bass. This will do. All right, let's check it out. Wait for the beat to drop. Okay. It's some music that I made. All right, let me get a couple more seconds to listen to it. All right, sounds pretty good so far. Let me change the song so I give you an accurate sound in a second. Just bear with me. Okay, sounds great, sounds great. I already know how the volume is on this headset, so let me go ahead and take these out of my ear, and then we're going to talk about this in a second. So let me put these down so you can see them in the video while I talk about them. All right, so let me be perfectly clear with you. Soundcore Anker is one of those companies where they always have beautiful quality music. And what I've noticed with a lot of these headsets, as they keep putting more and more out, because they come out with a lot of headsets, it's a lot to keep up with, to be honest with you. This particular feel, I love the way it feels, where it goes deep into the ear and it doesn't move. Though some people will be uncomfortable with the feel. I can't stress that enough. If you don't like things deep into your ear, you're not going to like these headphones. Then you'd be better off with the LifeNote 3s or the LifeNote E's or the LifeNote. It's a lot of different ones. There's a lot of them. I don't even feel like naming them all. So many. But anyway, this has the features that you want. It has transparency mode. It has music mode. I mean, not music mode. It has the EQs. It has app support. And then you also have active noise cancellation. Now, the thing about the music is that it has very rich bass. quality of music, let me get that glare out of here. The quality of sound that you hear with this headset is very, very good, I must say. Like when I listen to, when I make music, I do a lot of bass. So I'll have different types of thumps all combined into one. The hats sound a certain way. When the particular song I was listening to, I had it where it's like do 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 do, and it's jumping from left ear to right. I did that on purpose just so I can hear the quality of the music in both. See, when you listen to something out loud, like on a microphone or speaker or whatever it is, not microphone but a speaker, you don't get the true sound of what it is that the person's trying to do unless it's a professional speaker. Versus if you put some headphones on your head and you make something, right, then what you're hearing is, in a sense, how the artist intended the music to be. But of course, the headset they use is different than what you're going to get. So some headphones have the ability to be able to still give you that quality of sound, where if you make something, it sounds exactly the way you made it, even though you're not using the original headset over your head. Now, the hats, the kicks sound great. The bass sounds beautiful. No bass boost on this whatsoever. So if you don't need bass boost and you still like having rich, decent bass, this is good. The louder you turn up the headset, the louder the music goes, it does not distort at all. It sounds very, very good. It sounds very, very clear. But I will say it can cause ear damage, like any headset can if you have it directly in your ear. But that's something that you as a person just have to be aware of. Like there's only so much safety a headset can give. Some have lower volumes, but the problem with that is when you're in a crowded area, certain places, sometimes you want music blasting because it gives you a particular feeling. And I understand that. Like safety isn't always everything. I know it sounds crazy to say that, but I definitely understand. Some people said Galaxy Buds were too low. Well, these are definitely louder than Galaxy Buds, and they weren't even turned all the way up. I personally used these for about 3 weeks or so before I decided to actually review it. And I'm like, you know what? I love these. I got them particularly for how the fit of the earbuds are. They fit great for me. Now, again, music sounds beautiful, very, very sharp. If you're listening to guitars, which I had playing in certain songs, it was very, very crisp, very clear. It did a very good job of mellowing out everything where you can hear each instrument. Other headsets or cheaper headsets around this price range tend to have nothing but bass, but then the quality of sound suffers, while Anker does a very good job of minimizing any issue. It's like the jack of all trades in terms of sound. Now, when you look at this particular headset, this is going to have much, much, much better sound than a lifedot Ease. Even though they're both good headphones around the same price range, you can definitely tell the quality and clarity of the music. It's much, much sharper, while the Ease, as they get louder, could tend to have a little grainish noise to it, like a film kind of. I know it's hard to explain, but if you heard it versus this one, you'll understand if you're paying attention that deeply. But the average person isn't going to care. They're just like, listen, I want something affordable that sounds good. These are good. But if you're getting like the lifedot Ease in the store and you see these, 9 times out of 10, you're going to pick the Ease for 2 reasons. 1, because of the price, and 2, they're just smaller. You're used to seeing that style of earbud. This isn't going to fit everyone's ear. I can't stress that enough. Now, when it comes to phone calls, the issue I had with this, it was clear. My wife said the calls were clear, HD calling. The problem, and I can't stress this enough, is that I ride a bike to work, or lately I've been riding a scooter because my bike's got flat tires, so I've been riding an electric scooter. The wind is constantly blowing. So when you're talking to someone, if all that wind is blowing, they cannot hear you. All that wind is in a microphone. And there are earbuds out there that do a good job of minimizing the microphone where they can still hear the wind, but you come in clearer than your background. The Beats do a good job of that. These have a good job of clear microphones, which I'm going to visit this again in another video since all the updates. But so that's what I'm using every day as for the last month. But for these, again, my wife would call me and I had to literally come to almost a halting stop just for her to be able to hear me while traffic was moving, like I'm moving fast. Now, if you're walking down the street, you'll be fine. Perfectly fine on a nice summer day, a nice spring day, you're fine. If it's a windy day, rain blowing, things like that, like tropical thunderstorm, hypothetically, just high winds and things like that. I'm exaggerating, but that's part of it. If it's high winds, it's going to be so much static in the headset that the person may not be able to hear you. But if you're in a quiet environment, a normal environment, you shouldn't have an issue whatsoever with quality of sound. And like always, Anker always delivers on that. I can't stress enough that they always deliver on that. So with that being said, to be honest, it's a very good headset. I guess I'll combine the conclusion. I kind of gave you the conclusion anyway. So you do have crystal clear calls, except for inclement weather like real weather conditions. Like if it's raining outside, like heavy rain, you should still be able to hear as long as the winds aren't too bad. If the winds are pretty mellow, you're perfectly fine. If you're running, you'd be fine. If you're, remember, I'm going 25 miles an hour on a scooter, so it's a lot of wind and gusts blowing. But if I go slower, like 10, 11 miles, my wife can hear me. But, you know, other than the phone call issue, it's very, very clear. The speakers are decent. If you're here for music quality, you have that IP rating for people that sweat. It's good. These are very, very good headphones. I can honestly say that if Anker decided to put better speakers in terms of talking to people and learn how to kind of block that wind out like some of these other high-end companies have, they'll be perfectly fine. They can do that on the higher-end headsets that are like $100-something and whatnot, but it's weird because you have the lifedot 3S, which act as earpods the way they're shaped, and those I can hear just fine when I'm driving down the street. The lifedot 3s are $89 or $79, and you can get them on sale a lot of times for $60. Those I can talk in inclement weather, wind blowing, all types of, it's like there's different headphones have better speakers, and it's hard to figure out which one. That's why when you watch videos like these, it's always good to look at the points that you desire in a headset and go from there. But anyway, I rambled on enough. Very good headset for $59. If you can find it on Amazon for cheaper, awesome. But they do sell it at Walmart for $59. I haven't seen any other stores yet carry these. Again, they make so many pairs. It's ridiculous to keep up with, but I really enjoy reviewing them. But anyway, like and subscribe like always, and I will see you guys in the next video.